Hey guys, welcome back here to Intuitive Angling, and man, I appreciate you guys swinging by the channel to check it out. And guys, got a new bait from Megabass I want to share with you all. This is a finessey jerkbait. A lot of you guys know that, I've been with Megabass since 1992, and they've got arguably the best jerkbait line, in the world right now. They got lots of different models. This is the latest one right here. And one of the things we talk about a lot here on the channel during colder weather times of year, like when the water temperature is under 50 degrees, is how effective a smaller jerkbait is. So I'm going to show you the new one here, give you guys some tips and advice on how to fish it, and I definitely think it's going to add up to lots of fish for you guys. Also, guys, before we get started, one thing I want to remind you, please swing by and check out my Blaukat Power Finesse throwback jig from Cumberland Pro Lures and my full-size throwback jig, guys. These are hand-tied living rubber frog hair skirt on the finesse jig. Arguably the hottest finesse jig in the country right now. Guys at Cumberland Pro Lures, if you guys have never used some of their stuff, the attention to detail they have on their products is second to none. So I'll put both of these in my Tackle Warehouse link in the description. Got 6 different colors, 3 different sizes on them. And I'd suggest the little finesse model right now. Any type of green or brown combination is really good. So all that stuff's in the description. Appreciate that. Okay guys, I'm going to show you what this is right off the bat, and then we're going to talk into it. This is the X80 Trick Darter Junior, the new one, little bitty finessey model here. Now, a lot of you guys have heard me talk about the regular Trick Darter. The Trick Darter's been out for a long time with Megabass, and here's the size difference in the two. You can see it's significantly smaller, a true finessey little jerkbait. And guys, the reason, let me show you also real quick as a size comparison. Here's the Megabass Vision 110, which is a 4.5-inch model. And here's the little X80 Junior next to the Vision 110. You can see the difference on it. Now, why this is so critical and why this is so important and why I'm so excited about this bait and I've been fishing a lot is in the winter time of the year, not necessarily winter, but anytime the water temperature is under about 55 degrees, between like December and early March, my own personal experience, I have found that bass prefer a smaller jerkbait. It's probably a combination of that their metabolisms are a little bit slower. The bait fish that they're after, they tend to go for minnows like this, different type of lake minnows and threadfin shad, and they're about in this size. This bait here is about 2 inches long. It's a little bitty finessey jerkbait, and it looks exactly like the size of minnows they feed on in cold water. So let me give you guys some tips and advice, and we'll talk about the windows of how to fish this, because I've been using it all winter here back in the Ozarks. First of all, you got to have some clear water for this. You don't have to have gin clear water, but I like to have water visibility of at least 3 foot. 3 to 5 foot visibility is perfect for this because it's a sight bait, and it's not going to push a lot of water. It's not going to put out a lot of vibration. It's a subtle bait. So it's more side oriented, and that's the whole key. You want them to get next to this thing to look at it because it's so realistic and small. So the clear water is going to help out with that. The second with that is you got to put this thing on light line. I use it most of the time on 4-pound test, Seaguard Vizex line. Occasionally I'll use 6-pound tests. 6 pound will work if you're not comfortable with 4. But if you're fishing any type of open water situation, like out off a main lake point or something like that, you can get by with 4. It gives the bait better action and gets it down deeper. And then the other thing with that, the lip on the X80 Junior here, guys, this is a small lip as compared to like the X80 Trick Darter. So the key element on this that you're going to have to do for wintertime fishing is you're going to have to weight this with some suspend strips to where the bait sinks a little bit. Now, I want it to sink this time of year about probably a foot every 5 seconds, about some type of a sink like that. Now, why this is critical is that if you try to fish the X80 Junior without weight, like if it's suspended or even it floats up higher, you can't get it deep enough in the wintertime. So what I do is I'll have a slow sink on the thing. This is something I've done forever. I'll cast it out to the area I'm fishing. Main lake and secondary points are my favorite structure. And based upon how deep I feel the fish are, which most of the time, like in the Ozarks here, they're going to be down anywhere between, say, 6 to 12 foot, suspended. So if I get out on the end of a point that's like in 20 to 25 foot of water, I throw the X80 Junior Trick Darter out there. I'll let it sink down about 10 foot. I'll count down until I feel it's about 7 to 10 foot, something like that, and then I'll start working it, and then it puts me in the depth zone with that. Another thing with the X80 Junior here, you can't overwork it. So this does not take a lot of jerking action in order to get it to really come alive and dart. It's not like the Vision 110 out there. So you don't want to jerk it near as hard with that. So what I'll do with it is I'll cast it out there and run you through the cast. I'll just make the cast out there and I'll count it down to the zone that I think, like, 1001, 1002, 1003. And then once I get it down to the zone, I'm just twitching it just like that. I'm not like jerk, jerk, pause, jerk, jerk, pause. I'm just getting it down to the zone. I'm going twitch, twitch, twitch. I'll let it set a little bit and maybe sink a little bit more, twitch, twitch, twitch. So the twitching on the thing is going to be like that, and it's going to sink down, twitch, 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 sink down. And you can speed it up if you don't want the bait to go deeper. You don't have to pause it as long. So you can get it down to say 10 foot like that, twitch, 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 pause. But then, in other words, what you don't want it darting all around like this. You just want a slow twitch like that into the strike zone. And guys, I'm telling you right now, you get this thing around some fish, especially if you have a lake that's got like spotted bass or smallmouth bass in it, anything like that. If you get this thing close to some fish out there, they are gonna bite this thing. And that's the difference right here that you're talking about between, I gotta close the door here. It's like 8 degrees outside and Elijah's got the tackle room door open out there. Elijah, close the door. Don't know that. Close the door. So let me explain to you guys what I'm talking about here as far as the visibility part of it in jerkbait fishing. As you go to a larger bait in jerkbait fishing, the fish have a better chance to study it. So let's say, for example, your water temperature's in the 40s or something like that, and you've got the Vision 110, which I don't use much in the wintertime. I use it, once the water's over 55 degrees a lot. But you've got this larger profile Vision 110, and you're fishing it slow because it's the wintertime anyway. So imagine this fish swims up to this, you've got the attention of the fish, it swims up to the thing, and you're working the Vision 110 slow like that, and that fish noses up against it, and it gets that far away from it, and they're looking at this big 4.5-inch lure, and if they're not like super aggressive, they're just gonna swim past it, even if it looks real, because it's a commitment, it's a large lure. But on the other end of the spectrum, if you got a little 2-inch bait, and that fish swims up next to this thing and sees this little 2-inch it, this is a little tidbit. It doesn't take a big commitment. It doesn't take a big obligation to the fish. So they swim up to this thing, they see this little realistic looking 2-inch minnow, and they just suck it in like that. They don't even hesitate about it. That's the difference in the mood and the personality of bass in the wintertime in terms of lure profile size. So that's why I always use a smaller jerkbait. So what I usually do, here's a prime example of how I use it too. The X80 is one of my favorite wintertime jerkbaits. If I get in a situation where the fishing's tough, say it's the weekend, there's some heavy fishing pressure, maybe the water's really clear, maybe it's bright out, there's not much sun, fishing is just tough. That's when I'll downsize to the X80 Junior Trick Darter. Also, guys, I'll link this in my Tackle Warehouse link in the description. If you guys would like to pick one up through my link there in the description, we'll have them there. But get you a lot of bites, guys. I'm telling you right now, it will get you a ton of bites, especially you dudes out there that fish, a lot, on spotted bass lakes. If you fish like Lake Lanier in Georgia or any Ozark lake here, Bull Shoals, Table Rock, you better have some of these. They will definitely get them. So anyway, guys, link in the Tackle Warehouse link in the description. Hope it helps you guys catch some fish, and we'll talk later.